Hi guys, I'm David and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel, Defeating Cancer. The hospital has given me a couple of days off from radiation treatments, and rather than just sitting in a hotel room for a couple of days, I thought me and my family would do some sightseeing around Baltimore. I've talked to some local people and I've also checked out some YouTube videos of other YouTubers who have pointed out some really cool points of interest, and I thought we would go on a day trip and take you guys along with us. I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, I'm David and welcome to my YouTube channel, Defeating Cancer. I haven't had radiation treatments for the last couple of days, so the hospital has given me some time off. So me and my family stop me over. That was my very first blooper. My daughter was helping me record the intro just a few moments ago, and my wife was standing behind her making faces, and I couldn't hold it together. It cracked me up. One of the first stops on our sightseeing tour of Baltimore was the world famous Lexington Market. We was asking some of the local people, where can we go in Baltimore to get an outstanding crab cake, and everybody consistently said go to the Lexington Market. And we did go and we checked out the crab cakes that you just saw, and I have to say they were huge crab cakes. They were filled with fresh lump crab meat. They were absolutely delicious. Most of the crab cakes that you get are filled with breadcrumbs and breading and just a little bit of crab meat sprinkled through, but I have to say that this was 90% crab meat, delicious crab meat with just a little bit of breadcrumbs to bind it together, topped with butter and baked in an oven to perfection. It was absolutely delicious. This market was established in 1782, so it does have a little age to it, and it did feature a variety of prepared food vendors. You could get these huge turkey sandwiches that were cut right off of the turkey. They had the roasted turkeys around, and they were slicing these thin slices of turkey piled high on the sandwiches. They looked delicious, but after that crab cake, we were a little bit full. But they looked awesome. You could buy hamburgers and hot dogs. And if you wanted to get something and take it home and prepare it there at home, cook it yourself, they had an enormous selection of fresh fish, poultry, and as you can see right here, chicken pieces, chicken legs, chicken thighs, breast, wings, even some turkey legs, turkey necks, and stuff like that. It was quite an experience. Usually when I go to the grocery store, everything is neatly packaged and prepared in the cooler, and I just get it and check out and go home. I've never quite seen meat shopping like this, but I did enjoy it. The next place on our list was a little donut shop that I had really heard about from other YouTubers that was quite interesting, and it was called Diablo Donuts. So we thought we would go give it a try, and they make small batch donuts with an artisan touch. The people on the inside were just, delightful. They were very helpful. They were very nice. They did let us know that we came a little late in the day, so the selection was a little sparse, but if we had came back the next day earlier in the day, that there would be much more of a selection. They have won all kinds of awards. They've been featured in all kinds of television shows and news articles, so we were glad that we had an opportunity to go to Diablo Donuts. And if you're ever in Baltimore, give them a try. After we left there was one place that I've always wanted to go to, and that was Charm City Cakes. I've always wanted to see this because it was featured on the Food Network. There was the famed pastry chef and author Duff Goldman, and you might remember him from the Food Network reality show called The Ace of Cakes. I used to watch that all the time. I don't think it's on anymore, but it was a really good show, and I enjoyed seeing how they could make a cake into anything that you wanted. And as we looked around in the shop, there wasn't a lot of people at all there on the day that we went in. Plus, it was so hot outside, but everything on the inside was it was just beautiful. I don't see how they do it. I'm good if I can make a plain sheet cake and get a couple of candles on it, but this place was off the chain, and I really did enjoy it. I will say that we did buy a cake in a jar, and it had Charm City Cakes logo on the outside of the jar, so we had a souvenir. But when I got home and we ate the cake out of the jar and we washed it, I looked at it, and guess what? I had washed the Charm City logo right off of the outside of the jar, so I don't have my souvenir, but I do have my memories, and I do have the pictures, in spite of not having the jar. The next place was Chap's Pit Beef. Oh my goodness, this place was delicious. Move over Arby's. I love Arby's, but this place was delicious. I've never tasted such rich smoked flavor in a thinly sliced roast beef sandwich, and that must be why it caught the attention of some Food Network stars like Andrew Zimmern and Guy Fieri from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. It was awesome. They had the pictures up. I felt privileged to be in there, but what really made it delicious was the employees. The employees, they had a really cool sense about them. The atmosphere was really nice. We were well treated. I did go back the next day after having that roast beef sandwich. It was delicious. They had several sauces to choose from. They had a homemade sauce. They had a hickory barbecue sauce. They had one called tiger sauce. It was okay, but I'm not a big fan of horseradish. But it was absolutely delicious. If you're ever in Baltimore, you definitely need to check out Chap's Pit Beef Barbecue, ribs, chicken sandwiches, and the like. It was great. The next day, we also had the day off from radiation treatment, so I took a little ride down to the Inner Harbor. And the Inner Harbor of Baltimore is a really, really nice place that you can go with your family and spend the day. It is a lot to do there. It is the home of the National Aquarium. We did get an opportunity to visit the National Aquarium and go in. It is absolutely beautiful. I've been in a lot of aquariums, but none quite as nice as this. It's also home of the Baltimore Hard Rock Cafe, and we did some sightseeing around. There's a lot of walking around at the Inner Harbor. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's surrounded by water. There's a whole lot to do. And they have paddle boat rides. They have these little electric boats that you can get in that kind of look like a little pirate ship that you can get in with your kids and go around the Inner Harbor there just a little bit. But one of the features is one of the tallest five-sided buildings in the United States that I'm aware of, and that is the Baltimore World Trade Center. Outside of the World Trade Center, they had some pieces of iron and girders and steel beams that was from the World Trade Center on 9/11 from up in New York, and it was quite a touching display. And we finally finished up our sightseeing tour at a place called Fells Point that was covered with cobblestone streets. And one of the places that it had was a little saloon and restaurant called The Horse You Came In On. And this supposedly was the last place that author and poet Edgar Allan Poe was seen alive. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Baltimore. I know we certainly did. Thanks for joining us. Well, that's it, guys. That's some of the places around Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland that we found particularly interesting. I wish I could have shown you a whole lot more, but with the amount of time we had, there just wasn't enough time to show you all the points of interest that Baltimore has to offer. It's an awesome city. I wish we had more time under different circumstances, of course. But I wish you would do me a favor. I would like for you to like this video and subscribe. By subscribing, you give me the opportunity to reach out to you more. I know that the name of my channel is Defeating Cancer, but as we move forward, I would like to branch out into some other things that affects people. Some people think, well, I'm not going to subscribe to that channel because I don't have cancer, or I don't have anyone in my family that has cancer. But if you've ever had something in your life that needed to be defeating anxiety, defeating worry, defeating fear, defeating loneliness, defeating sickness, any of those type things could be encompassed in my YouTube channel, Defeating Cancer. If you have ever experienced any of those things, I would really like for you to subscribe, to give me an opportunity to meet you, to form a community, and together we can defeat whatever it is that's in our life together. Thanks, guys.